awesome.
Yeah.
So I've been doing comedy for about 2 years, which is great. My main job is I sell drugs. That's what I do for a living. Which is awesome, right? I work for the largest cartel in America. I work for the insurance companies. Yeah. Working on it. Working on being single. How's that going? So I've been married 3 times. So I've had an abuser, a loser, and a boozer. So clearly I'm the problem, right? I do have a son. My son is 40 years old. I love my son to death. No, I was not 10 when I had him, but I'm a little older than that. But I take care of myself a little bit. I do the spa thing. Spa thing is awesome because when you sell drugs, you can afford to go to the spa. So there you go. My son is 40. He grew up like having me as a single mom. Ladies, if you're ever going to get a guy that's got a single mom. And I'll tell you why. Because they know how to do the laundry, they know how to do the dishes, and they know they have to pick up their room. Because if they don't do it, no one else does. My son is, he's a wonderful kid. He grew up, we didn't have a lot of money. I was a single mom working 3 jobs. We came home. I was home for a day, and I decided I was going to do his laundry. Now my son was 16. To go into a 16-year-old's room and do laundry is a very brave thing to do, okay? Because every towel is stiff. It's standing up, right? Every sock is like, you wonder, right? So I get all the laundry, I get it down there, I wash it, I dry it, and I go to put it away. Now, I open up the child's top drawer. What goes in the top drawer of every bureau in everything, right? Right? Socks and underwear, right? That's the top drawer of every bureau in America, I believe. That's like a rule, right? So I open up my son's top bureau to put away his socks and his underwear, and I find a mound of condoms. Now, there were pink condoms, there were Magnum condoms, there were white people condoms, there were every kind of condoms that are available, right? So I wait, and now I'm like, oh my God, I've been working way too much. Like, what is he doing in his spare time? Like, why does he need this many condoms? And why does he need this many sizes? Is what my question was. So I wait till he comes home and I says, Scott, I'm like, why is your top drawer filled with condoms? And he says, well, Mom, have you noticed I haven't been asking you for lunch money lately? And I'm like, oh shit, right? I've definitely been working too much if I'm not noticing this, right? And he says, yeah, he goes, oh look, he goes, all the other kids in school, he goes, their parents won't let them buy condoms, so I go down to the store, I buy them by the 12-pack, he goes, I sell them for $5 a piece, he goes, I make bank, he goes, and I'm not selling drugs, and I goes, well, good, because I sell drugs, and that's, it's a good living, but if you do it illegally, it could get you into trouble, right? So he says, yeah, he goes, yeah, I sell them, he goes, and I afford my own lunch, I do all this stuff, and I goes, well, unfortunately, I have to ground you. And he's like, well, but why? I don't understand. And I said, listen, I said, to be a true entrepreneur in the United States of America, I goes, we could have taken you down to the free clinic. You could have gotten them for free, and you could have made 100% profit on all of those condoms. So life lesson coming from a single parent is what I have to deal with. But I had great parents, right? And I love my mom and dad. I take my, unfortunately my dad is not in very good health. I take him down to the emergency ward because, he wasn't feeling well. And he's, the doctor comes in, my doctor looks at my dad, and my dad says, well, this is my daughter. This is my oldest daughter, Lynn, and she sells drugs. And I'm like, please, Dad, please don't tell doctors that I sell drugs, because this could be a cause for security to come in at any moment in time and take me out in handcuffs. The other thing is my mom. My mom is an amazing, amazing woman. However, in her old age, she gets words screwed up. We were at a town council meeting, and they were looking at rezoning parts of town that we were in, and my mom stands up and says, we don't need any more condoms in the center of town. And I said, Mom, we probably don't need any more condominiums in the center of town, but if you look at the center of town, we probably need a lot more condoms in the center of town, right? Yeah, I mean, my sister is a great person. I love my sister to death. However, I don't remember her at all growing up. And we laugh about it today. And she says, you used to tell people that you were adopted. And I'm like, why would I tell people I was adopted? Usually I tell people you were adopted. She goes, no, you told everybody you were from royalty in the United Kingdom, and they took you and raised you, and I was the one that was adopted into the low-lifeness of North Brookfield of Massachusetts. She says, so yeah, it's a place that, and you have to think, like, who named all these towns, right? Like, who is the guy that turned around and said, yep, North Brookfield? They were stoned out of their fucking mind, is what it was. Like, I think I have to let you guys know that I am the one that's in the Jeep Cherokee that's outside, but I do have the 420 license plate that everybody fucking wants, because, yeah, and I said that something to a friend of mine the other day, and they're like, aren't you afraid that somebody's going to steal it? And I'm like, dude, if somebody's going to steal my license plate, I mean, what the hell am I going to do about it? I just get another one. They're like, but it says 420 on it. And I'm like, yeah. And the Grateful Dead will be really happy to see that on their website. But other than that, what am I going to do? All right, well, that's all I have for you tonight. Well, I thank you